Hello, guys. Welcome, everybody, to Purple A's podcast. I am your host who bleeds purple and gold, Isaac here. So, this is it, ladies and gentlemen. The scenario that we have been, I'm sure, playing throughout the first few weeks or 5 or 6 weeks that the Vikings, they need to win out, and the Lions, they need to at least lose one. And then the Vikings have to win out. And basically, so far, it's gonna be happening between. It's gonna be a basically for. There is a whole lot that is at stake here on. It's the NFC North. There's a lot that's at stake here, which means the NFC North and the number one seed in the NFC. So, without further ado, let's get to basically the preview of the game and how the Vikings can win. Because the last time the Vikings were very close to winning, they were really close to winning and they just came up short. But this time it's going to be match number 2. Who's going to win for the NFC North and the number 1 seed? So quite a bit is at stake here. So the Lions offense versus the Vikings defense. I mean, the Lions offense is one of the best that I've ever seen in quite a while. Their offense is averaging at least 33 points a game at the very least. So they're really good at putting up points. I would almost say almost half of their games have 40+ points. So, they're a really good offense type of team. They run the ball really well with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Their offensive line is solid. Their quarterback, Jared Goff, is actually doing pretty good for himself. And their wide receivers, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Tim Patrick, Sam Laporta. They're a good offense team, and Ben Johnson's a really good head coach. An offensive coordinator, not a head coach, sorry. So, for the Vikings defense, it's gonna be very tough, to hold them at a minimal, in the single digits. It's basically a tall order to really do that kind of thing to the Lions offense. It would be great if they could do it, but I just don't see it happening. So for the Vikings defense, can they, if they don't get really a lot of pressure or if they score a lot of points, can the Vikings at least get a big time stop and a big time turnover? Can they at least get one of those things, man? Because they need to at least force one turnover. At least one. And then basically, and I think though the Vikings defense needs to do that. So we know the Lions are going to put up a lot of points on the Vikings defense. So what they really need to do is stop the Lions. They need to just try their best to do whatever they can. I don't think that's going to happen, but at least force a turnover for the Vikings if you're the Vikings defense. And then for the Vikings offense versus the Lions defense, this is where the weakness is of the Detroit Lions. That is their defense. The run defense is okay. It's not the best, but it's okay. But their pass defense is Swiss cheese. The Lions, they gave up I don't know how many points on average, but ever since the season has gone, the pass defense they've given up a ton of points and a ton of yards. I think they gave up 377 I think they gave up 400 passing yards to the 49ers offense on Monday night. So we know their weakness is the passing game. So if the Lions defense is not that good at all, then Sam Darnold should go off. the receiver should go off. And I feel like though this should be a game where Sam Darnold doesn't turn the ball over. If you can minimize the turnovers as much as you can, then I feel like though that you give yourself a better chance of winning if you turn the ball less more and make the least amount of mistakes on offense. Then I think you're in business, really. Then you're then you don't really then you don't have to worry about it, really. Your offense doing everything. So you should absolutely Sam Donald should go off, and I mean their pass protection, their sack rate is actually pretty decent, but I mean so I don't expect the offensive line to really do much, but I think Sam Darnold should definitely score a lot of points on the Lions defense. You know, they should absolutely go off. I feel like they should. So as far as everything that is for the Marls, win or lose, I mean the Vikings are going to the playoffs, but it would be a lot better if the if they would get the number 1 seed, and they also flexed it on Sunday Night Football, which I'm not surprised that they did. They flexed it on there, so I mean I'm not going to be overall mad. So at Ford Field at on Sunday night, I mean it's definitely going to be a big game. I mean, I expect both teams to absolutely show up and Kevin O'Connell, but I have a lot more faith in the Vikings that they will find a way to win because they always do that. I say they win with a game-winning field goal by Will Reichard. 38-35 is going to be my final score prediction. Then, what say you guys? A big game coming up. Let's go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Skol Vikings.